Hello again, welcome back. Episode 4 already, time flies. I hope, by the way, you can notice there's a little bit of a difference in audio quality. Actually went and bought this little microphone here. So I hope that in future voiceovers and certain parts of the video, the audio should be a little bit better. But yeah, welcome back. This is episode 4. I have gathered more clips for your enjoyment. So take a look. The first thing I want to show you is we went out for a night out because there's a DJ that I've been following on YouTube for a while and I really wanted to see her live, and she was coming to Singapore to a very famous club known as Marquee. It's basically if you ever go to any website and look up nightclub Singapore and there's this one that has a Ferris wheel inside and it's super, showy and flashy. That's the one, that's what she was playing. So I met up with a couple of my friends, and before that we went to a very cute autumn-styled aesthetic cafe where we had some drinks, and then we went to the club. The club itself is, it's so-so. There's not enough space for people, and it's really focused on people actually buying tables. But the DJ was really good, so that was really nice. And actually on the way back from my taxi, I got a quick shot of like one of the sightseeing highlights, which is like a Ferris wheel. I don't know, I thought it looked cool. One of my friends was actually invited to the Nike employee store, which is basically a store with all current season products of Nike with a employee discount, which is quite high. And he invited me to come along, so it was really nice. On the way there, we saw some beautiful scenes of just like the sky being pretty and Clarke Quay being pretty. I actually went a little bit crazy on my haul. I bought one pair of shoes, some slippers, and then a bunch of clothes as well. But with the discount, it was still kind of worth it. Then my Dutch friend Daphne actually came to visit me here in Singapore. And so the next few mini clips are gonna be of us just doing a bunch of the touristy stuff because I was kind of showing her around. So first we met up for lunch, and then that night it was actually Halloween. So we decided to go back to Clarke Quay because Clarke Quay is just a beautiful place to walk around and kind of take in all the sights. But at the same time, because it was Halloween, there were so many people that were dressing up. There were events, there were parties. There was even this like pop-up event location for the new It HBO series. So they had like a bunch of activities. You could watch a preview of the first episode. You could take pictures. You got free ice cream. It was really cute. It was really nice to just walk around. In terms of food and drinks, what we decided to do is we went bar hopping. So we actually went to 3 different bars. The first one was like a dumpling bar. Then we went to get some Mexican food. And then we just sat down somewhere so we could watch all the people walk by with all their costumes on. I am participating in Movember this year, which is basically no shave November, but then only for your mustache. So this is my day 1 check-in, and over time you'll probably see it grow out over the course of the next month. Being a tourist in Singapore means having to go to Gardens by the Bay. So that's what we did the next day. We showed up around late afternoon. We walked around the gardens and we got some views of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which was really nice. Then we walked over to the Sky Tree Grove, I believe it's called, which is basically, all the trees that you see when you Google Singapore. We stayed there for a while during the day, and then we came back at night to watch the light show that they have there at night. It was really nice. After that light show, they actually had a special extra light show called Borealis, where they had like smoke coming out, and then they projected lights on there, and it kind of was supposed to resemble the Borealis lights. The next morning, early shift, we actually went back to Gardens by the Bay. This time Daphne brought her camera so she could take some nice pictures, and there's a couple of other things to do at the Gardens by the Bay. So we went to the so-called Flower Dome, which is a dome with flowers in it, you'll never guess. And after that we walked a little bit and we went to something called a floral fantasy, which is like the one path through a bunch of different kinds of flowers. It was beautiful, it was very serene. After that, we went to check out a local book cafe. I read a little bit and Daphne did some journaling.
Wow. Wow.
Wauw.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Uiteraard.
Wow.
Wauw.
Wow. Oh, wow. Such a good shot. Wow. 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 Wow.
Wauw.
Wow. Look at all those flowers. Wow.
Je weet dat ik niet veel met geluid hè?
Ja, dat weet ik. Maar het is wel leuk als editor.
After Daphne left, I actually went and checked out a new boulder hall. So there's a boulder hall literally right next to my building, it's a bit smaller, but it's very cute, and they set in a very different style, where it's just like the wall is just lathered with holes. Which for me, being a colorblind person, makes it a little bit more difficult to find out the route, so it was not really my thing, but it was cool to check out. And then on the way back, I noticed that the lift in my building is broken. Now, I live on the 7th floor, so it's not disastrous, but you know, it was quite a walk back up. And shortly after that, I actually went to the same boulder hall that I went to in the previous video. And that's a little bit more my style, or at least what I'm used to. Book update. Since last time, we actually continued reading a little bit with the book club. So on the women, we are now at 77%. We should be finishing this week and then picking up the next book, whatever that will be. In terms of my own reading, I actually finished Jade War, which I started in the last video, and I have since then started the third part of the Greenbone saga called Jade Legacy. As of recording this, I'm on 53% and hoping to finish that sometime in the next few weeks. Topic time. I don't know if you remember me saying this. A little over 1 month ago, I decided to leave my entire life in the Netherlands behind and move to Singapore. But in that clip, I said it has been a month, which means that there had already been a month of me being in Singapore before starting this whole vlog series. So today I wanted to kind of take you along on everything that I did during this first month. So I kind of went back through my pictures and just my notes and my calendar to recollect what I did for the first month. After landing, I actually had a hotel booked for 1 week, which was like my lenience in order to find a place to stay, which, you know, 1 week is quite short, but I checked into the hotel. After checking in, I actually met some of my friends. We went for tacos, and at this taco place, they had like a whole bunch going on. There was like people playing Beyblades, people playing PlayStation games, or people making live music. It was super unique and super fun to be around. Then I went bouldering, which is actually the infamous session where I dislocated my shoulder. So that has now recovered, but you know, that was a fun, what was this? The third day of being in Singapore, and I dislocated my shoulder. Throughout the first weeks, so the first like 5 days, I did 10 plus viewings of different apartments to determine which one I liked the most and which one was the best fit for me in terms of my budget, location, and everything else that I wanted. It was enough because I landed on Wednesday, and by Saturday I had signed, or at least shown interest for the apartment that, you know, you're looking at right now. I found out that a Dutch friend of mine is actually also living in Singapore, and he invited me to his birthday, so that's something that I also did in the first week. I met up with some friends to get a couple of drinks, and we actually stumbled upon this random craft beer festival. So we decided to buy a ticket on a whim, and it was actually kind of fun. They had like live music playing, which was kind of up our alley, so it was super fun to do that. After getting and settling into my new house, it was time to make it my own a little bit, so I had to do a couple of IKEA runs and buy some of the missing furniture and some of the missing pieces that I wanted, and kind of make the home feel a little bit more like my home. 2 weeks after landing, or a week and a half about after landing, I started work. So since as of then, I've been working full time. I joined a gym nearby, so there's a gym about 10-minute walk away. There's actually a gym in my building, but it's super depressing and small and it doesn't really have anything. So I actually signed up with a proper gym. I did actually make use of the building's pool facilities for a while during the first few weeks. Since then, since starting work, I started slowly decorating the house, doing little tidbits here and there to make it feel a little bit more like my own space. I hosted a housewarming, which was kind of nice. And so I had some friends coming over here and we just ordered food and had some drinks. The first few weeks of me landing here, and also the few weeks before that while still in the Netherlands, were super hectic for me. So after having settled in and, you know, having done all of my social errands and getting set up here in the house, I wanted to take some time to decompress and just be at peace a little bit, you know, just go to work, come home, eat something, watch some YouTube videos, whatever. During this period, I actually found a series of videos by Ryan Trahan, which is visiting 50 New York states in 50 days, which is like a vlog series that he did where, as the title suggests, he visited all 50 states of the US in 50 days consecutively. Actually, watching that video is what sparked my motivation to start up this vlog myself. So that is actually why I picked up the camera and started like vlogging around, because it's such a cool way to create this archive in the way that he did it as well. So that's where the inspiration came from. So that's a little bit what my first month in Singapore here looked like. Everything after that you have seen through my own eyes as I made these first few videos. So I hope that gives you a bit of an insight of what has been going on with my life before everything that you've seen so far. So that's all for me for this week, or this episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, post a comment with anything that you want to tell me or ask me or whatever. I'll see you again whenever I see you again for my next vlog, and maybe I'll see you even a little bit sooner for something else, but be on the lookout for that. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!